Well, I've got some good news. And I've got some bad news. Let's roll the intro credit first.
Regarding automobiles, yeah.
So, who do you want to hear first? The good news or the bad news? I can't hear you because of the video. Let's do the good news first. Good news is that I was successfully brought my car to a track for the first time. Went out to a local place about an hour from here. Started driving around and had a great time for the most part. What I'm going to do here is just show you a couple of my laps, and then I'll come back and we'll discuss. Well, that was my first flying lap of my first ever track day. So that was pretty fun. You can see that the first one's quite slow. The second one, the first flying lap is a little bit faster. And I'm already starting to see places where I'm gonna try to not lift as much, not brake as much, or not lift at all. Really trying to understand how the car can handle. And I also started to notice that there's pylons out that aren't just blocking off your direction. They're sort of giving you stopping distances too. So when you're coming down a long straight over on the right hand side, there's 1, 2, 3, so you can start gauging where you're gonna brake. And those brakes standing up pretty well. I was noticing that I could brake a lot later than most people. I was in the beginner class, obviously, so I could brake a lot later than most people in my class, which I think helped me make up some time. I didn't have timers running on the day, like they didn't have timers running at the track or anything, so that timer I just added afterwards in video production. What I'm gonna do now is show you my fastest lap, and again, I'm gonna throw a timer on it.
Let's go!
Yeah, so it was going pretty good there. Just learning the track, learning what kind of grip I could get on the car. It was pretty fun, and then shaving seconds off. What I'm gonna do is actually post all of the track video I have in a separate video outside of this playlist. The thing is, I understand, like even me watching it, I know how fast I was going. And even with the tires squealing and the wind noise, the video doesn't sort of do it justice. And I guess the same thing, it's what happens when you're watching racing on TV. You're like, yeah, why don't they just go faster? But it is a lot faster than it looks like in the video, so I can see how if you're just watching me lap, it can get boring. If you want to do that, another video for that. So those laps were the good laps. Let's take a look now at, so that was my first lap and my fastest lap. Let's now take a look at my final lap. Yeah, that's painful to watch. Yeah, I was just pulling out for that behind that the Ford Probe, gonna go for a pass on that last back straight there, and the car just stopped. It just stopped. I asked the marshal. It didn't blow up. It didn't smoke. Nothing fell off of it. It just stopped. So I got towed back into the pits. There were a lot of guys there that had a lot of experience working on engines. We did some few swapping because I could. All the power, the car had power. When you turn the key, it didn't crank. You just got a single faint tick. So the consensus was, after a little more examination, it was probably a seized engine, most likely a spun bearing. Looking online for these cars, apparently it's a fairly common problem, and one of the guys at the track was a mini guy, and he said, yeah, this is a fairly common problem. Wish I had known this particular problem beforehand. One of the main causes of this, or one of the possible causes of a spun bearing, if that's what it is oil starvation, which I don't know. I mean, it's my first day out. I don't think I'm setting any records out there, but it can happen, I guess. They say if you're going too hard around a corner, the oil moves away from the pickup, and so maybe it's just an angle thing, and then the engine gets oil starved and it spins a bearing. But the other thing is that the consensus is that if you don't take care of the engine for its life, then you take it to a track and you run it hard for a few laps, then it can cause this. So it's possible that it's an old sort of a lifetime of abuse coming to a head while I'm driving. So that's not great. What is the upside to this day? Well, the original challenge was $5,000. $5,000, get a car to the track and race it. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. I can do it. You can do it too. I got one autocross day in and half an autocross day and half a track day. So that's one full track day that I got out of it. Was I expecting to have to rebuild this engine? Yes. Was I expecting to have to do it this early? Absolutely not at all. What is the fate of this car? Oh, I should throw in that, yes, I made the budget for the parts and everything under $5,000, but you have to buy a lot of, like, if you haven't done this before, there's a lot of tools that you need to buy. So expect to spend, $500 at least on tools, maybe even a little more than that. So what's up next? I need to decide the fate of this. I haven't looked at it since. I'm giving it a cooling down period, let's say, in my garage. And I really need to decide what's going on. Is it a repair? Is it an engine swap? I've never done anything this intense before. I may need to bring in some expert help to take a look at it for me. But yeah, that's the state of it right now. So mission accomplished, but my car is dead. So the final good news about this in this video is that it's possible that if everything had been working perfectly from now on, the rest of the videos would have just been me slowly shaving time off of my laps as I learned the track and I learned the car, get a little faster. And that probably would have been really boring for you guys. So instead you're gonna watch me do a bunch of stuff I have no idea how to do while I try to open an engine and see what's happening inside of it. So, good for all of you then, I guess. That's the good news. Well, thanks for watching up until now. I'll see you next time, and we'll make some decisions in the meantime.